So Andre Ward scores a 12-round UD over Edwin Rodriguez to retain his WBA strap. He's still the #1 man at 168-pound super middleweight. In a lot of ways, this was a typical Ward fight. It was very scrappy. It was very rough. There was a lot of inside fighting. There was a lot of mauling. There was a lot of brawling. Rodriguez came in the fight obviously looking for the knockout. And that was, a lot of people expected that going into this fight, especially given his weight problems. People expected him to come in here and just try and be the bigger, stronger man and just go for the home run shot. And that's pretty much all he did for the entire fight. I was quite disappointed in Rodriguez that he didn't try and use his jab. You know, he's got longer arms than Andre Ward. He should have been jabbing towards chest, jabbing him to the face, jabbing him to the chest, jabbing him to the body, because he had those long arms, but he totally neglected his reach advantage and just decided to try and go for the knockout from the very opening bell. And, you know, it could have paid off, but obviously Andre Ward was way too smart for that. Way too smart for that. But, you know, you have to say, as soon as I saw both of them side by side in the ring in the first round, it was very apparent that Rodriguez was a hell of a lot bigger. He really looked like a light heavyweight in there, and a good size light heavyweight as well. Ward looked like a small guy next to him. And Ward is very strong himself, though, on the inside. He's got that compact physique, you know, compact upper body, that torso, that short, thick neck, those, you know, compact, muscular shoulders and short arms. So he's got very good, physical structure to fight on the inside. You know, those powerful little levers that he's got in that compact torso. He's very good at jostling for position on the inside and managing to get his little short arms free and get punches off, where a longer arm fighter like Rodriguez struggles on the inside compared to Ward. And most fighters do. Most of the light heavyweights out there, super middleweights out there have got, or a lot of them have got longer arms than Ward. So on the inside, they're going to find it difficult, especially since Ward is so smart. He's so accustomed to fighting people on the inside. He knows what to do. He always guards, puts his arms up and prevents you from catching him with shots over the top. If you saw Ward's left hand in this fight, Rodriguez was constantly trying to throw right hands up close. Big chopping right hands when they were up close in clinches. And Ward always had his left hand up, blocking the shots every single time. So, you know, Ward is a tremendous technician. He's definitely not everyone's cup of tea because his fights are quite rough. There's a lot of holding, a lot of mauling. A lot of the time, Ward, you know, he has hold of one of his opponent's arms and he's punching with the other arm. You know, that's a lot of his fights are like that. But he pretty much beat Rodriguez in every department. You know, he was better on the outside, he was better on the inside, and even when they exchanged punches, Ward came off the better in the exchanges. You know, Rodriguez was way too wild. Ward's punches were a lot shorter and more precise, and his accuracy was tremendous. I think in one of the rounds, the HBO team said that Ward landed at something like a 65%, connect ratio. Tremendous accuracy, wasn't wasting shots. And, Ward does what he does, man. It's not to everyone's liking. He is Bernard Hopkins 2.0. He's like a more athletically gifted version, a younger, more athletically gifted version of Bernard Hopkins. You know, he takes away what you do best and he implements his own game plan onto you. You know, he always nullifies your strength. Very, very smart fighter, very talented, and let's see where he goes from here. There's not really much left for him at 168. The only people that we can see him fighting now is either some of the guys at 175, and it will be rough for him up there because, you know, unlike Floyd Mayweather, because obviously Ward gets compared to Mayweather because of the fact that he manages to dominate fights the way that he does, and obviously he's unbeaten. So he gets compared to Mayweather. But the thing about Mayweather is when Mayweather started his career, he was way down at super featherweight, and he was a huge super featherweight. So he was able to move up through the weights. I can't see Ward doing that. You know, Ward has recently been talking about fighting a heavyweight one day. I don't know about that, man. I don't think he's big enough. He looks small in there against a guy like Edwin Rodriguez. You know, he's going to look even smaller when he steps up to light heavyweight, and there's loads of big guys up there, and then cruiserweight. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. If he was a harder puncher, then maybe. If he had, I mean, Ward is fast, but he's not Roy Jones fast. If he was Roy Jones fast, then maybe, because Roy Jones was a freak in nature. He was the most athletically gifted fighter, arguably, in the history of the sport, pound for pound. I don't see Ward going up that big, man. He's quite a little guy, and it became very apparent when I saw him next to Rodriguez. Ward is really quite a little guy. So I'm not really sure how well he's going to do moving up in weights. You know, because like I say, a guy like Floyd started off fighting way below his natural weight down at super featherweight. So he was a big super featherweight. You know, the times when he wanted to fight Prince Nassim, I mean, that would have been a mismatch. You know, Prince Nassim is like 5'3", Floyd's like 5'8", huge long arms. He would have destroyed Prince Nassim. You know, so I don't know about Ward, man. Obviously, there's a possibility of Golovkin, and that is a fight that Ward has expressed interest in. He's expressed interest in taking a Golovkin fight. That could happen. I think that's more likely to happen than Ward fighting any of the guys at 175, unless they're willing to come down and drain themselves. You know, I don't think he's going to step up for now, for not at least the next, 1, 2, 3 years. I don't think we're going to see him step up. I think it's much more likely we're going to see the Golovkin fight before we see him fight any light heavyweights. So it is what it is. A lot of people, not big fans of Ward. That's cool. But you have to admire the skills. He's a very skillful guy. He's very smart. He's very defensively good. He's very accurate. He don't make mistakes. You could probably count on one hand the amount of clean shots he took in this fight and still have fingers to spare. You know, he don't take clean shots despite the fact Rodriguez was throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him. And obviously there was one contentious incident in this fight. Early on in the fight, Rodriguez came out extremely aggressive. And it was very rough. Very, very rough. And there was an ugly incident in one of the early rounds where both of them were roughing it up on the inside, and there was elbows flying around and heads flying around and stuff like that. And the referee actually stopped the fight and took 2 points off both fighters and, told the commissioner or whoever at ringside that he recommends that both guys have their purses deducted. Right? He recommended that both of them are fined for unsportsmanlike conduct. I've never seen anything like that in a boxing ring before, but I mean, the fight continued to be pretty rough after that, but not as heated. There wasn't as much aggression in the clinches and stuff like that. Rodriguez is really a very aggressive guy, man. Very aggressive. And but I think he would have been better off trying to actually do a bit of boxing in there, because the rough stuff wasn't working. I know he was gambling and all that kind of stuff, but I really think if you're hoping to catch Andre Ward with a big punch, you're going to have to try and draw him, lull him into a full sense of security. You're not going to get him when you're telegraphing your movements as much as Rodriguez was. It's going to be hard to catch Ward when you're doing stuff like that. You're going to have to be a bit more clever and a bit more cerebral. Walk him down with a jab. Rodriguez had those long arms. He didn't use them. He just fought Ward's fight, basically. So it is what it is. Drop your comments below. Let me know how you felt about this performance. Where do you see Ward going from here? Do you want to see a Carl Froch rematch? I don't think there's any point in that. I'm sure Ward's going to get a payday, and obviously Froch will get a payday, but we know what the outcome's going to be. Unless Froch lands a lucky punch, he's going to get beat again. He's going to get schooled, So I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. So let me know where you'd like to see Ward go from here. And Rodriguez, he'll probably move up. Yeah, drop your comments below. I had one more point to make. I can't remember what the point was, but I'll if I remember it, I'll put it in the comment section. Yeah, so hit me up in the comments. It's Hatman. I'm out.